All right. So it is. My bad. We can turn the lights down too.
I think that's good. Yeah, that's perfect. And then I don't look so.
Gotcha. Understood.
Because then we both look similar color.
There we go.
Not color, but like
I know what you mean. We do kind of though. While you playing, you ain't that far off. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you got nice earrings on.
Girl, I was trying to be cute because you saw what was going on over here. Okay. So what we will do, because we are technically live right now, but I like to go live early so I can get my little kinks out, make sure we looking good on the camera.
Make sure you don't say anything goofy.
Yeah, I do that anyway. They gonna get the real me every time. I'll be like, listen, this is what y'all getting from me. Camera. See, I do that anyway. They gonna get the real me every time. I'll be like, listen, this is what y'all. Man, we would turn that down.
Otherwise, that's what last week was happening because I was like listening to myself twice in order to hear.
Yeah, I do this so I can see to make sure we are.
Make sure it's going.
Yeah, and if anything happens on their end, I can see.
Oh, that's smart. That's
smart. This is how I get down, babes. All right, guys, y'all already know what time it is. We are preparing for Money Matters Mondays. We come on a little extra every time to get people acclimated, kind of get inside of the room and see what we do today. So as per usual, we have Miss Lynn here giving us all of the goodies on changing your money mindset. So we know that in this world, okay, we are definitely consumers, right? We all can agree to that. So as consumers, we have to either make a decision whether we're going to stay broke our entire lives or at some point buckle down and do something with the money. We have to give our money things to do, right? So tonight, Lynn is going to be discussing that with us in detail, right? So a couple of the features that are new for us today, okay? As you guys can see, we done upgraded our stuff because last week was not being our friend. So we're gonna try this again, okay? So if you pay attention over in the left-hand corner, it says free consult, okay? So what that is, if you take your camera out and you just kind of put it up there, it'll pull up Lynn's actual calendar. So you guys can book directly with her so that she can sit down. And guys, this is absolutely free. All she wants to do is come in and kind of show you where she can help you guys put your money and make it work for you, opposed to you working for your money. I think one of the biggest issues in our society, especially in our communities, is that we don't understand money. We don't understand how money works. We don't understand what to do with the money that we are making. So a lot of times we are really missing out on great opportunities when it's time to invest in things, or we may see something we really want, but we can't afford it right now because we spend every dime that we get, sometimes before we even get it. So we want to be way more mindful of how money works, why money is important, and what we really need money for. And that's where the financial literacy comes up for you guys. So as we go through these next 30 minutes, guys, Lynn is going to be really breaking it down, what a money mindset is and what that looks like for people of color, because we really are talking to people of color. We do not have access to the same information. So that is why we are on this mission to how many families?
30 million.
Say that again.
30 million.
30 million people.
That's
the mission. Right? Not at all. Not at all. But that's the mission, guys. Like that. And she is driven. This is why I love her so much. Like when I say I have yet to meet somebody that act like me, and she's sitting right here. Like when I say very passionate about money, very passionate about changing the mindset of people and how we think about money, look at money, and spend money in our communities. So without further ado, before I say that, if you notice, all her information is right here on the page for you guys. So if you need to get in contact with Lynn, she works across all states. Okay. So she is not just here in Michigan. So if you are in any other state watching this, Lynn can be your financial advisor as well. So please do not get that twisted. She is not just my financial advisor. She has tons of clients. She just loves me enough to come on my channel. Okay. So without further ado, I am going to introduce Miss Lynn, my financial advisor, and she is here to talk to you guys tonight about money mindsets. Lynn.
Right, mindset, right? So yes, I'm going to talk, but maybe we'll have a conversation too, right? When we think about mindset. So welcome again. Thank you. I see a handful of people. Welcome, Whitney and Dominique, Brenda, and everyone else. I so excited that I know for sure that Tawana says she has a lot of viewers, so we appreciate you all spending some time with us. So yeah, I was thinking about what to do, right? We said that October we're kind of aiming on talking about finance, and I don't know if I mentioned last time, but October is financial planning month. Okay, so so that's why it made a lot of sense. We think about talking about finances all month, every Monday, around financial freedom eventually, right? So last week we talked a bit about taxes and that kind of stuff. We talked a bit about what the foundation looks like. But I was invited to speak at an event for a nonprofit, a group of women kind of being empowered around issues. And we did a quick conversation, and it got me to thinking about that. Financial planning month, I've noticed that so many reasons why people don't start the financial planning process is one, is kind of this misleading belief that, hey, I don't have any money, so what do I need to plan?
Oh, girl, I've been there.
I don't have any money, so what do I need to plan, right? But we know that's first the wrong mindset to think about it, and then we know that if you don't plan, you won't ever have any money. So then the goal is, do you want money, right? And so I would probably say most of us want money in some form or fashion, and most of us need money. Yes. Right? In some
we all need money. Ain't no most. Yes, we all need money.
There are a few that I've told, I need money. I'm like, okay, if you say so, right?
Okay, somebody want to be homeless.
Yeah, but those are also kind of mindsets. So we talk about money mindset. Mindsets are really this notion of core beliefs, right? So anything we think about mindset, when we put money in it, is this notion of what are the core beliefs we have about money? Okay, where does beliefs come from?
Yeah. Oh, well, generally? You want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
generally, beliefs, yeah.
The family structure, what we didn't learn from our families. Correct. We definitely not learning money in school. So they only going to teach us about ones and twos and dollars and fews, but they're never going to teach us the meat and bones of keeping our money. So most of the time it's self-taught though.
It's self-taught, or like in our surroundings, right? Sometimes in our communities, how we see money, right? How we see money flowing through in and out of our communities, how we see people spending it. Definitely as a kid, we're noticing things about money, right? So we're both raising kind of younger children. So even now, as I think about and being in this field, didn't realize how much of my mindset was formed at a very early age. Right? Like this notion we get sometimes money doesn't grow on trees, money is the root of all evil. So these are beliefs that are being instilled kind of into our subconscious that we actually don't realize. Kind of comes to surface as we start to have money, and we're like, oh, okay. And it kind of just sits there, and it shows up in behavior. So we talk about money mindset is really what are the core beliefs, and then when you understand those core beliefs, they're the things that actually drive your financial decisions and the way you spend money, the way you make money, the way you think about money, right? And so I'm going to share this a little bit, sharing a bit about myself, right? So until I started this journey, I actually didn't say that I didn't need money, but I was like, I don't want money. Right? So that's another thing. I don't want money. Right? I don't want to need to be filthy rich. I don't want,
I hear a lot of people say that.
Yeah. So that's a belief, right? It's
a limiting belief. Just in case you don't want to know. Okay. But
But I think because we grow in a society where we see this dichotomy between people who have it and then people who don't, right? So we're watching celebrities flaunt their money. We're watching, and we're kind of sitting there we're sort of
I would say aspiring.
Sort of aspiring, but we also have this belief that I don't think I could ever achieve that. I don't know if that's true for you, but
it's not. I've never believed that about myself.
I guess I don't consciously believe it. I think
a lot of people do. Like even in the coaching realm, I hear that a lot, where people have very limited beliefs on what they can accomplish.
Correct.
I can't start a business. I've never known a business owner. Well, you're going to be the first one because you didn't come to me for no reason. So, I love changing people's mindsets. That's why I think this discussion is extremely important, because you can't change anything in your finances if you don't change your mindset.
Correct.
So this is super important. This is the foundation for real. The foundation before the foundation. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I thought about this because I was reflecting on the talk that I gave, and I started, was kind of teaching some of the foundation. And then I said, you know what, all of it though, actually, if you're not willing to shift how you think about money management, or right, even then you can't receive perhaps some new information that I give you.
Yeah.
Right. They're like, oh, or if you kind of react to and go, what do you mean protecting myself? Or what do you mean I need to plan for an emergency fund? That's your brain shutting yourself off to listening and saying, oh, maybe this person has something to offer. Right. So that's all mindset. Right. And so in that process, I was reflecting about my own. Yeah, we got messages at home. My siblings were all entrepreneurs, right? And so I'm kind of late to the game of entrepreneurship now, kind of in this financial industry as an entrepreneurial, all right, endeavor. But I just didn't like the way my family engaged about money. Okay, so this is dinner table every day, all the time, 100% of the time. Oh, how much money did you make today? Or yeah, I worked so hard all day long, and it's just like could barely eat, and then but we still took all these clients, and every day was just about money. Every conversation was money. And that's all we talked about at the dinner table. Money, money, money. Right. And just making more money, taking money from people, this and that. Everything was money.
How did that impact your thoughts on money?
I think because of that, I was like, I really hate money. I think I developed.
You like if I say anything else about money, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah. And then clearly with not just the conversations, it was also I saw all the problems in the house was about money. My dad had a really twisted view of money. I felt like, not twisted, it felt like he was always greedy about money. And then my sister also, I mean, pretty driven. Now I understand her a little bit more as an adult, but as a young person, I was like, she's just always talking about money. Why is she so greedy? Like those are the limiting thoughts. Why is she so greedy? Right. And so I wonder, again, how do we define and understand what those messaging and how did it land in our subconscious and how does it show up, right? And so to your point, like, well, how did it impact me? Then I was like, well, I don't want to make money. I don't want to go entrepreneurship. Let me go, quote unquote, the noble route, go to education. And I don't need money. I just need enough to live, right? I don't need all this money.
And right? I'm going to stop you at that. And this is my segue because that is really a very hindering mindset.
I know.
Because the minute you're like, I don't want money, I don't want to do entrepreneurship. And I think entrepreneurship scares so many people because it's very, it's you focused, right?
Correct.
It's no money being made without you being in the loop, right? So one of the things that I love to teach people in the business realm is there are two different people in business. We got business owners and we have entrepreneurs, right? I consider myself an entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneurs are people that come up with solutions to problems.
Yes,
business owners are people who literally own a business. Like they good at one thing. They're going to focus on that one thing and they're going to rock it out and they're going to hire people to do that thing for them and they're going to build that thing. But entrepreneurs, we're more so like, I'm gonna try this out.
And we have a service or something, right? Like you said, that's when I had to redirect my definition of entrepreneurship, that I actually could be a different type, right? So you're right. Like my sister was a business owner. She's known in our Vietnamese community as a business owner, owns these salons, hires all these people, right? And again, not that she's not passionate about the industry that she serves in, but I didn't feel like that it was out of a need to serve people. It was just out of a need to make money.
Yes.
And it was always, how do I make more money this way and that way? And again, she's not cheating anyone. And there's nothing wrong with it. But in my head, I was like, I don't think that's the type of person I want to be. And I said, business entrepreneurship, no, not me. Right. But you're totally right now that I'm kind of re-engaging that, actually true entrepreneurship is about a service and providing a solution. Right. Because we all have problems and we can't solve all of our problems, but there's someone out there, especially if they have an entrepreneurial spirit and a talent for it, can solve a problem. We just have to figure out what the problem is, So what I solve is one problem, what you solve is another problem, right? But that's true business ownership. Okay. So I wanted to catch back on what you said about, I kept saying, well, I don't need money, right? And so we're talking about abundance, or we're talking about mindset. We know there's this notion of our words become reality.
Yes.
Right? I don't often quote the Bible or anything like that, but I was reading a book about kind of subconscious and conscious. Also this notion that the word becomes flesh, right?
Yes.
So these things about how do we start to shape, and we hear in our society, I think, therefore I am. All of these are tried and true words. We hear it, but we don't always know and connect it to. What all those things mean is whatever we say, actually the quote unquote universe or the creator, however you want to see the divine, they're putting things in our pathway to help us live into that, right? And so in some ways, because I kept saying I never needed money, and I never got money.
It was running from you, literally.
It kept running from me. Because every time something would come, I say, I don't need it. An opportunity come, I say, I don't need it, right?
And the money was like, I don't need you either.
Correct. Yeah. And so, there's a piece of mindset that's very much connected to, different things like people call the law of attraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
This idea that we attract the words, and then wherever our attention goes is where things flow, right? Energy flows. So money is also just energy. And
That's all it is.
Is a form of money, and money is a tool, right? And so when I started to go, okay, well, what is my mission? My mission and what my calling is to serve. And so it doesn't matter what industry, but then when I put it into the entrepreneurship, wow, if I truly have a notion for service, then the abundance that comes with being able to serve people, will bring all of the money. So I need to kind of now, redirect my thoughts, right, around that. So that means, so you wanted to say that that's kind of what, how do you go from the understanding your mindset? So definitely, if we think about mindset, definitely ask yourself, what are those things that showed up in my home environment, in my school? What are those messaging? And sometimes you just need to kind of journal and say,
yes,
what is my thought? And so, like I said, when I started this industry 3 years ago, I didn't realize I had so many limiting thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which a bit limiting, and then I offer what, again, so you have to recognize it and actually recognize it to be true, and then say, but I don't want it to be that way.
Yes.
Right. But if you want it to be that way, that's fine. If you recognize something, like, okay, I want it to be that way. Like your mindset is, I will always be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. That's totally fine. That's a great affirming, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you know that your mindset, the other piece is mindset has to match what you're doing subconsciously and consciously. Okay, so you can't say I want to be a millionaire
and be sitting at home,
and be sitting at home all day, or you can't say you want to be a millionaire, but the next day, consciously you're like, oh, I don't want to take up that opportunity, or oh, that's too much hard work, right? Or whatever. So you have to kind of align what your subconscious is into what your conscious thinking actually is.
Yes.
Right. And so you can have it true in your heart, but if every action you take in your conscious world says, no, I don't want money, then it's not going to come to you. Yes. Right. And so you have to align that a bit.
And those limiting beliefs can really, when I say truly make money run from you, like that's a real thing. Yeah. You be like, why am I always broke? Because you just said you didn't want no money. Like you letting this stuff come out your mouth. And that is the truest definition of everything that we do. If you don't believe it first, if you can't walk in that, if you can't talk it and walk it, right? Correct. Like you were just saying, and even in biblical terms, that's that faith without works, right? That's that dead part. Because if I'm telling you I want to be a millionaire, but yet and still I'm doing absolutely nothing in my world to make that a thing. I'm not talking to a client. I didn't come up with a product. I haven't done anything. I'm just laying here like, I'm gonna be a millionaire one day. Like how, so the work has to be put in behind it. And sometimes it's okay to stop and regroup and try to figure out that next step, but you have to have a step to figure out, right? So that's where that mindset shift comes in. That too is you can't just feel like you want to learn the money part in business. You also have to learn the business part of business. Correct. So even managing that money. So talk a little bit about what that looks like for business owners, and having a portfolio or whatever for business and changing your mindset on that money aspect.
Correct. Yeah. So one real quick before then is maybe the application of it as we think about the mindset piece. What shows up a lot in our communities, I'll name real quick, and then we say, okay, well, it may show up in how you run your business as well, right? So what shows up a lot I see is this idea of a poverty mindset around money or a scarcity mindset.
Scarcity, right? For sure.
I once sat with someone who was like, I want to get started on my financial planning, but I want to spend now, right? Like, and then she started a little bit more about like experience and go, because we never had money. So now that I have money, I want to buy that thing because what if I don't have it tomorrow? Or what if it's not available to me anymore, right? And so that's actually that is a mindset that, that is going to inhibit her from continuing to do actually the things that she needs to do now that she has shifted class. Right. But if she maintains that way of behaving and thinking, she'll kind of repeat the cycle of, right. Always being scarce around money because she's not really taking control of it. And it's allowing her, the money kind of make decisions for her.
And that's what I think a lot of us
and making excuses, because that's what I grew up with. right? But let me do that, right?
But we're grown now, so it's time to change.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And so to your questions around from the business, I think your personal informs how you run your business.
Yes.
Too, right?
Oh, that's one of the first things I teach people.
Correct.
Like self-care and management
Yeah.
of your own personal things is the foundational things that I teach people from jump, because I don't think people realize that.
Yep.
Like if you're bad with your money in your personal life, you're going to be bad with your money in your business. If you're bad with your credit in your personal life, it's going to be bad in your business. So it's like your mindset doesn't change from being you and then a business owner. Like
absolutely. And it may be worse.
Yes.
Right? Because now if you have an abundance of money coming in, you may not be putting it in the right places. So talk briefly about business and personal, right? Sometimes as people merge them together, right? So definitely from the financial side, when you run a business, we always want to actually create some separation. And we talked a bit, one of the first ones talk about pay yourself first, but first to separate, okay, now, and I know I'm sometimes guilty of not doing it as well, right? So we kind of merge it and say, okay, especially when you quote unquote, you think you're like a small business, right? Yeah. So that's another thing I kind of want to help people get out of, not naming ourselves as small. We are a business.
We're a business, period.
So yeah, I wrote that the other day and I was like, why am I putting small business in front of anything? Why? What if it can be a big business? You are a big business, girl. Right? We're in the manifestation world right now. Big business. Okay. So yeah, I've kind of started to let go of the MC Financial Center. Yeah. But like big business, right? But how come we never start with big business? Why is it always small business owners? We don't know. So anyway, so thinking about words too, we choose. But where was I? So separating it, okay? And so from the business side, we always recommend the same thing we do on the personal side, but really deciding when you go into business, what is the main goal? One is possibly because you have something you want to offer, a product or service. You probably have a passion for it, especially if an entrepreneur, right? Because it's not necessarily an easy path, but a very possible path for anyone who wants to do it. Yes. Right. But you're in it to make money, no? That's the whole purpose. You're not running a nonprofit for fun. That's the whole point. Exactly. Yeah. Because you truly believe you have a solution for someone and that someone needs that, or lots of people need that. Right. But it is profit, right? It is. It may not be all profit, but it is some profit. Yes. You're trying to contribute and add to your family's income. You're trying to add to your lifestyle by bringing in more income, all of that. And so one really is just naming, addressing, and thinking about, okay, how much profit do I need, right? Yes. Or do I want from my business, right? And so we talked about the profit first model, but there's a lot of, again, just thinking about understanding your business finance, okay, thinking about how much you bring in, right? What are all the expenses you spend on your that you can write off, right? So again, business ownership allows you to write off different things. So every month, maybe looking at over 475. Just to let y'all know, it's over 475 tax deductions for business owners. Oh yes, yeah. I need to purchase that book and learn more about it. But there is. I'll show you the book, guys. Yeah. So there's so many, right? But that, if you don't know them, that really kind of decreases the taxable income that you are kind of get charged on, right? And then from there is really when you can actually truly understand what your net income is for that month, right? So if you're doing that, you need to understand, there you go. So many tax deductions. Yes. Okay. But so really just, okay, well, how much am I actually bringing in of revenue, right? And then where are my expenses that I write off? And then that kind of really is what creates your net income. So you're not, everything you're charging clients, that's not all yours to keep. You're spending to go into the business. Right, but you have to understand that net income. From that net income, then understand, well, how much is that I need to pay myself, right? Like sometimes, again, business owners don't pay themselves, especially if you're running a solo operation. You're like, oh, just work, no profit. I'll just keep reinvesting. But then you're just burnt out and you still got no money. That was literally me for like the solid first 4 years of being an entrepreneur. Like I never got money. I used to be like, okay, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to put it back into this business so we can grow. And that's all I worried about, growth. And then I was like, wait a minute. Now I done made all this money. I'm looking at my tax returns, looking at how much money I made, sitting here like, but what did I buy myself? Yeah. Okay. So once you determine that net income, say, Ashley, I want an owner's pay of this. Yes. Right. I mean, again, at the beginning and depending on what business, maybe that owner's portion is very small, right? But when you're on your own, the recommendation I've been reading a lot, it's actually 50% of some of that should be yours, potentially, as your owner pay. Okay. You can choose what to do with that pay in a little bit. And then a portion of it needs to be profit, pure profit. That is also yours. right? And then you can determine the other areas, really thinking about what is the kind of expenses that you have.
Yes.
So again, structure a little bit. Maybe we can do, maybe I can send some things around kind of the profit first model. But also, again, just when I'm financially planning with people, I have to separate their personal from their business so that we can say, okay, so you are Tawana, you're bringing in this much. Okay, so maybe you made 4,000 from all your clients this year, but this month. Maybe that 1,000 actually is yours to own, right? Is your pay, right? That goes to your family's budget. Like this now is part of my family's contribution to our income, right? As a family. And then from the profit from your business, okay, then this month we profited however, whatever percent you decide. Usually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the beginning, and most businesses aren't creating that much profit yet, right? Yeah, and then clearly is probably from the business side something for taxes as well. So
most definitely.
Okay, so there's a category for taxes, that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of my thinking for sure. Again, the separation is very, very key, so that people can truly understand where their numbers are. Because then what happens is you take your personal and put it into your business, and then you also don't have money now in your personal. So you're like going in the wrong direction.
Listen,
most people put it in the wrong direction. Money needs to go from your business to your personal, not the other way around.
Okay,
not the other way around.
Lynn had to get me together, y'all, because I promise
we
y'all.
Talked,
okay. Yes, because I had gotten to that point because I wasn't doing much. So it's kind of like, oh, I still got business expenses I got to pay. And she was like, no, the business better be paying its own expenses.
Correct. Yeah. And then that actually then goes back to mindset too. Again, right? You're like, well, I'm a small business. So in your mind, you're thinking, well, I'm a small business. This is how everyone runs it. Actually, no. Actually, if you want to build a successful business, no, you should consider. And so the piece with that is like, once I said that, you're like, oh yeah, because I can create income. You have a thriving business.
Yes.
So then if it's not moving in the right direction, then you have the choice to say, oh, okay, well then maybe I need to take on one more catering order, right? Because I want money to flow in the other direction, right? And so I think then that shifts your mindset to say, oh, okay, yeah, this is not good. I went into business to make money, right? And I'm not doing that. And so what can I do? So again, that is the willingness to take another next step, right? To say, okay, I need to change my mindset around this.
Most definitely.
You just got to, yeah. Those,
and I think a lot of us don't think about it in that manner because we don't even realize what we don't know, right? So that's the purpose of this. Like we want to be able to bring this information to you guys so that the seed is planted, right? Are we expecting your whole life to change in a 30-minute conversation? It could possibly if you decide you want to go ahead and work with Lynn. I mean, it really could.
She's such a good promoter. I should hire her.
I'm just saying. But for real, one of the things that I love about Lynn in this business is that I could tell her passion. Like from the first day I met her, we started talking at a networking event, and I was like, I'm keeping you. Like I literally was like, I'm keeping you. Give me your card. And we've been, because y'all know how I do. I'm a grown-up who like having grown friends. Okay. And I'm not afraid to ask them to be my friend. I'll be like, hey, you want to be my friend? And she's like, I'm gonna be your financial planner first, and then I'll be your friend. So that's what we did. But Lynn is a great resource to have in your closet.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. So as we close here, I'd love to, as you think about, we talked a bit about limiting beliefs.
Yes.
So as you think about mindset, once you do some of that work and you recognize it, the idea is then how do I replace it? What are the new thoughts you can have?
Yes.
Okay. So what I like to close with is one, we'll send you off with some money affirmations around how you can attract more, but thinking about what is that limiting thought, pick the few, right? And then say, what do I replace that with? Right. So I know for sure, as I read, Robert Kiyosaki is a big person kind of in the real estate world. He does great things, right? And so he suggested what his rich dad taught him. If you haven't read his series, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but he said, don't ever enter the world with saying, I can't afford this, right?
Yes.
So when you come with that mindset of I can't afford this, he said, okay, how do you replace that with? His rich dad told him, never say I can't afford it. Say, but how can I afford
How
this?
can you afford?
So then you come with solutions, right?
Yes.
And so again, you need to recognize the limit and then replace it with the new thoughts, right? So for me, one that I had, we brought up a handful of limiting thoughts already, right? Like more money, more problems is another one that sits in many people's mindsets.
And they believe that too. Like you created that problem.
The reality is no money, lots of problems.
Of problems,
right?
All the problems with the no monies. Okay.
Yeah. So like what would be a good replacement for that? Right?
Yes.
More money, more problems, right? Is one. And so maybe you're thinking, more money, more ability to serve people.
Yes.
More money can create more impact.
Yes.
So that's,
I love
one of
that.
my big things. Rachel Rogers is another person I follow and read. We Should All Be Millionaires. It's a book by Rachel. It's amazing. She's on a mission to create women millionaires.
I think you had me get that book. I think
I
bought that
did.
book.
It was one of the books I suggested because that's, she's like, wow, what if women were millionaires? How would this, if all women in the world were millionaires, how would our world look different? So she made me really reflect on,
hey, look,
wouldn't it be a better world?
I'm just saying.
So then I thought, you know what? She's so right. Like, so then I had to replace that. For me, the one I named, my limiting, that I didn't want to be rich. I'm like, heck no, I want to be a millionaire. So that's what
I want to be so rich I can help people. That's what I tell people.
Yes.
And I had said
I
this
can
to
be so rich, I can help people.
Yes.
Right? Because when we don't have money, we can't give to the person who needs it. I was joking with a friend and said, I want to get to a place where if I see you struggling, I can send you to Hawaii.
Period.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Like, go take a trip. You need that.
Like, I've never been able to give that, right? And I was like, that's what actually shifting my mindset around money actually had a type of impact because I'm a generous person.
Well, I'm going to tell her right now that I'm sad when the millions come.
When the millions
so I can get a trip to Hawaii.
Well, no, that won't work. I see your numbers.
Oh, don't do me. She said, I see your numbers.
How about we both together?
We could go together for sure. And I might just get your ticket. Let's go. Because that's what you here for.
We're both going to have that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So in closing, I'll just talk a bit, send you off away with money affirmations. Okay. And so repeat after me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I commit to achieving my financial dreams.
I commit to achieving my financial dreams.
I attract prosperity, wealth, and abundance.
I most definitely attract prosperity, abundance, and what? Wealth.
Okay. And I deserve and accept all the wealth that the world has to offer me.
I most definitely deserve all the wealth that the world has for me. And I will take all of it gladly in a check, cash, cashier's
Venmo,
check,
Cash
however
App.
you want to give it to me. Okay. I will take that. All right. So, Lynn, we're going to wrap this up. So, guys, listen here. Every Monday, we are going to be going live. So if you guys have just joined us or if you plan on joining us again, every Monday for the month of October, we already have planned out. We don't know how long this is going to last, guys, because she's getting busy. Okay. So I'm trying to let y'all come on in while she's here. Okay. So we don't want her to be so booked up that you can't have Lynn, because when Lynn get busy, Lynn going to send you to the next person. So we want Lynn, right? And Lynn works all over the country. Lynn does not just work in Michigan. Okay. So if you need a financial advisor, if you are just on the fence, okay, and you don't know if this is a service that's for you, just get the free analysis. I don't care if you're making $20,000 a year. Listen, learn where to put that $20,000, because I keep trying to tell y'all, it's not about what you make. It is about what you keep. Okay, so we're trying to get Lynn to show us where to keep our stuff, okay, so that it can keep growing, and by the time we are at retirement age, we can actually retire. Okay,
awesome. Can I talk about 2 events I'm having for local people real quick? So because this is October Financial Planning Month, this week I'm teaching 2 workshops live in the center,
and I'll be there.
Financial Education.
I'm gonna have to stop
tomorrow at 5:30 is Building Savings and Wealth.
Yes,
I don't think you've attended that one yet, so maybe.
No, I think I only did 2 classes so far. So.
Okay, and then we're also teaching workshop 2 on Thursday, increasing cash flow and managing debt. Okay. So, and then next week I'll be teaching the next part 3 and 4. So I'll share about that next week. But next week is actually on Monday, right before I jump on.
Got you.
So
maybe we'll come on a little early, and I'll come bring the cameras, and we will be at the center, and just as you're teaching, that we could do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, let's do that. We can switch the times.
Yeah.
So I love y'all and everything, but y'all can watch the replay if you can't make it. Okay. But we want to give Lynn as much exposure as possible so that she can get the word out to 30 million families. That's the goal of the whole conglomerate that she works under, which is to really, my center specifically is really to one, to educate, right?
individuals bring knowledge that's necessary into our community. Second, to equip you with the solutions and strategies to build your wealth, right?
Yes.
And then to really create empowerment around kind of a business opportunity for you to grow in your income if you need. But the basic mission is really to help families build and protect wealth.
Yes. And for anybody that's looking for secondary income, or you looking to trying to get into the financial world but don't really want to do it on your own, there is an opportunity for that as well. So guys, listen, she's coming with the gems, she's coming with all the resources, she's coming with the financial help. All we need you to do is contact her. So her information is right here on the screen. Her name is Lynn. Her number is 419-378-0681, or you can contact her on her email by ipsyfinancial@gmail.com. And we fancy over here. So if you have your phone out, just go ahead and scan that QR code and you can book an appointment with her right now. Okay. So with that being said, it has been great. I'm so glad you guys took a moment to join us tonight. Hope you learned some stuff. We had quite a few people join us today. So as we continue to grow, we ask that you share these things, because guys, listen, the only way we're going to be able to help y'all and help you people and help other people is if you tell them about it. If you tell them about us, this stuff is absolutely free. We just want to help. That's it. So come get the help. Okay. That way we don't have excuses on being broke no more. All right. All right, guys. Y'all know I'm real. Y'all know how we get down over here. Okay. We don't want to be broke no more. Okay.
No.
Period.
Done with that.
Done with being broke.
Taking that from our vocab.
2024 mindset shift starts now. We're doing this. Okay. Call in. She's your friend. I like that. Call in. She's your friend. We gonna steal that one.
Make my tagline.
All right,
Business
guys.
coaching,
Period. Because this is what we do over here. We gonna consult your business to help you make the money, and she gonna help you keep the money that you're making. Okay, tag team back again. Okay, y'all better act like y'all know. All right, it's been real, guys. We are logging off. We will see you guys next Monday at, I think it's 5:30. You said
the session is at 5:30.
So
yeah. So
5:30, we're going live with Lynn as she
For a
teaches
little
a
bit.
long
Okay.
class. Okay, so get your butt in there. How long? The class only was like an hour.
It's 1 hour.
Yeah, so it's not even that long. You have an hour to give us. Okay, we know you do. We love y'all. Okay, have a great day.
Yeah, she's having fun. All righty.
All right, Lynn is signing out. Okay, I'll see y'all next week.
Bye.